Even before he's going to officially take over for America as the president, President-elect Donald Trump has sent out a big message. And he has said that Gulf of Mexico, as we all know it, will become Gulf of America, or should be renamed as Gulf of America. Donald Trump has said, rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Donald Trump has said, will also, this is aside from what he has said, that remember the 2021 Capitol riots that had taken place and that many among the mob had taken over. He said we'll pardon some of those rioters. But remember, it's this big expansion plan that Donald Trump clearly is already eyeing for. He eyes Greenland, Panama Canal, and says that how is it Gulf of Mexico? It should be Gulf of America.
And we're going to be announcing at a future date pretty soon. We're going to change, because we do most of the work there and it's ours. We're going to be changing, sort of the opposite of Biden, where he's closing everything up, essentially getting rid of $50 to $60 trillion worth of assets. We're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which has a beautiful ring that covers a lot of territory. The Gulf of America, what a beautiful name. And it's appropriate. It's appropriate. We need them for economic security. The Panama Canal was built for our military. I'm not going to commit to that now. It might be that you'll have to do something. Look, the Panama Canal is vital to our country. It's being operated by China. China. And we gave the Panama Canal to Panama. We didn't give it to China. And they've abused it. They've abused that gift. It should have never been made, by the way. Giving the Panama Canal is why Jimmy Carter lost the election, in my opinion, more so maybe than the hostages. The hostages were a big deal. And as you see, I guess 24 or 28 people came now from the FBI. That came out very quietly. Nobody reported it, but they had people in some form related to the FBI. They had 4 or 5 people that were strongly related to the FBI. We have to find out about that. We have to find out about Hezbollah. We have to find out about who exactly was in that whole thing, because people that did some bad things were not prosecuted. You know, I see it all the time, and you see it too. People that were doing some bad things weren't prosecuted, and people that didn't even walk into the building are in jail right now. So we'll be looking at the whole thing, but I'll be making major pardons.
So in the past few hours, U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has made a series of bold, many would say shocking statements. Now, there is clearly an agenda at play that he's putting forth before he's set to take over. Donald Trump has said that the Gulf of Mexico, as we know it, will be renamed as Gulf of America. He's also added, America needs Panama and Greenland for economic security. The president-elect is refusing to rule out if there could be a use of military force to try and take control of these two. Now, Donald Trump is not shying away from a certain foreign policy references that he's bringing here. He's declared that he's even ready to use economic force with Canada to address trade issues. So these are threatening in nature as much. Addressing also, meanwhile, the Hamas attack on 7th October 2023, Donald Trump expressed outrage, warned of severe consequences if the hostages are not released before he takes over, that there's going to be a lot of trouble. Trump has made waves already with regard to the 6th January Capitol attack, saying that he's going to consider pardoning some of the rioters involved who have been arrested. And all of this, remember, are going to be very different of how Joe Biden led the administration. Trump on foreign policy has warned the war in Ukraine could escalate further, emphasizing that there needs to be a meeting between Vladimir Putin and to end this ongoing crisis.
Economic force. Because Canada and the United States, that would really be something. You get rid of that artificially drawn line, and you take a look at what that looks like, and it would also be much better for national security. Don't forget, we basically protect Canada. All hell will break out. If those hostages aren't back, I don't want to hurt your negotiation. If they're not back by the time I get into office, all hell will break out in the Middle East. Can you elaborate? And it will not be good for Hamas. And it will not be good, frankly, for anyone. All hell will break out. I don't have to say anymore, but that's what it is. And they should have given them back a long time. They should have never taken them. There should have never been the attack of October 7th. People forget that.